Hey Pisces, thanks for checking out your weekly forecast. I've got like an important pre-message for you guys before we get into the cards, but let me just say real quick, per usual, this is for Pisces Sun, Moon, and Rising. I'm labeling it for the 21st through the 27th, but you'll stumble upon it whenever you're meant to hear the messages. It could be at a much later time. We do have a new moon in Sagittarius on the 23rd, so we're going to see how y'all might be feeling those vibes. But we're going to jump in here and see what messages are coming up for Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising. And I have, as I said, a little pre-message for you guys, Pisces. And I'm not saying this in a negative Nancy kind of way. I'm not saying it in a dramatic kind of way. But Pisces, I do feel like there could be somebody who's very, very upset with you right now, or people who are very upset with you right now, in that you've been maybe asserting your independence and they don't like it. Maybe they feel like they're losing control over you. And they may be sending a lot of negativity your way. And it could be subconsciously, it could be they don't realize that they're doing it. But I think this is a really great time, Pisces, for you all, especially with the new moon energy. Your emotions might be a little bit more tender right now. I think it would be a really good thing that in the coming week, you take time for prayer, for meditation. I'm not telling you to live in fear, but to keep your vibration high so that this energy doesn't connect to you. It doesn't hook into you or linger in your environment. This could be a good time to burn some candles. Candles are a great way of burning up stagnant or old energy. I've always got candles burning in my place. Maybe you want to sage or smudge. Take a spiritual bath with some sea salt and essential oils if you have access to a bathtub and if your health permits. If you're near the ocean, maybe you want to just go to the ocean and let your feet be in the salt water. If it's warm enough to dunk yourself in, maybe you want to dunk yourself into that salt water. But it would be a really great idea to do grounding and cord cutting and just try to keep your vibe high, right? Listen to uplifting, upbuilding, positive music, uplifting, positive entertainment, positive affirmations, because I just feel there's this negativity. There's this like somebody is harboring resentment towards Pisces right now because they feel they can no longer control Pisces. And so I would just put that out there for you all, my darlings. Looking at the cards. First card here. Sorry, I'm just laughing because it's confirmation. Well, we're going to avoid this. If you can listen to the first message, we're going to avoid this here. But we have Nine of Swords. And Nine of Swords is insomnia. It's fear. It's like worried about what other people think about us, how they're seeing us. So it could be that you're very aware, Pisces, that somebody's not happy with you right now. And maybe that's eating you up. Maybe you're feeling really guilty about it. You're feeling really bad about it. But Nine of Swords is unnecessary worry. Nine of Swords tells us, look, don't dwell on this because otherwise you're going to manifest a problem where there really isn't a problem, right? Like maybe somebody is being really dramatic, but they're going to get over it. And all we can do right now is not throw fuel into the fire and just give it space, give it time, and take it up in prayer and give it to God, give it to the universe and to guide us through it and surrender it. We can't control everything. We have no control over how other people are going to feel about a situation. So Nine of Swords here is, okay, you might have some fears of things that might go wrong. What are some steps to keep those things from going wrong? What are some safety nets you can put into place in case these things go wrong anyway? And the rest you take up in prayer. God, here's what I'm scared of. Here's what I'm trying to keep from happening. Here's what I'm doing to keep it from happening. If there's anything else that I can do that I'm not seeing, help me to see it. Please, if it's in the best and highest good of all involved, don't allow these things to happen. But if for some reason they must happen, Please help me and guide me through it as quickly and as painlessly as possible. But Nine of Swords here, I feel, is like an unnecessary worry. And so when we talked about it and I said do things to keep the vibration high, he just kicking on. I'm also getting a vibe here, Pisces, that like I'm getting a sense of secrets or keeping secrets. And so I feel like there's things you're not telling people around you because you feel like they're going to judge you, or they're not going to like you, or they're not going to want to be with you. And I feel like this Nine of Swords is saying you have to open up. You have to talk about it. Okay? So like maybe there's things that's happening in the family that's stressing you out, and you don't want to tell your spouse because you don't want your spouse to think negatively of your family, or you don't, or like you're dating someone and you don't want them to know because you're like, well, then they're going to be like, oh, I don't like you because your family's drama, you know. Or you're not telling your friends because you don't want your friends to think that you know, just like think negatively in some way. But I feel here with this Nine of Swords, I'm not telling you to go blast it to the whole world, but you need to tell someone. And you need to tell the person you're not wanting to tell. I feel like this person needs to know. And I feel like this person is going to be very supportive. Like you're going to be very surprised that they're not judging you. They don't think anything bad about you. They don't think anything bad about your family. And that this is someone that's going to give you support. Like they're going to give you support even if they have their own problems. You might be like, well, you know, I don't want to, they've got their own problems going on. And that can be the case. But sometimes we can be there for each other, right? And this person can be there for you. So I feel like there's like a specific person where you're like, I can't let them know this because they're going to look at me bad, or they're going to look at my family bad. And I feel like you need this person's support, and you need to give this person the opportunity to be there for you. Whether it's a friend, maybe it's a fellow family member, maybe it's a romantic partner. But I just feel like you need to talk about it. You need to talk about it, get it off your chest, and let somebody be there for you. And I just got like this feeling or sense that someone's like, oh, that's what therapy's for. And I tell my therapist, that's great. I'm all for therapy. I'm all for therapy. I think therapy's great. But your therapist cannot like scooch over closer to you and give you a hug and hold you in their arms. Like that would be a violation of boundaries. That would be like super inappropriate, right? We can't have that kind of relationship with our therapist. So yes, therapy works and therapy helps and therapy is great. But I feel like you need to let someone like just come in and like hold you and reassure you and tell you it's okay, it's all right, you know, this doesn't make you less desirable, this doesn't make you defective, this doesn't make you bad or wrong, you know. And so you know, you got to let somebody be there for you in the ways that a therapist can't. The next card that's coming up here for the Pisces collective is the Five of Cups. So Five of Cups can be sadness and disappointment. You might be disappointed in the way somebody is reacting to the changes you're making in your life, the decisions that you're making. I just heard like raining on the parade. You might feel like there's good things happening, but you can't enjoy it. You can't enjoy it because somebody else is falling apart. You can't enjoy it because somebody is making you feel guilty about it or making you feel bad about it. And so there's this sense of like disappointment. Like I can't have a happy moment. I'm not allowed to be happy. I'm not allowed to have good things that are happening for me. Some of you are about to make changes or do things that are going to open the door to a tremendous amount of happiness. And someone feels they're losing control over you in doing this, and so they're trying to, you know, guilt you into not doing it. And you may have these really intense emotions and these feelings, and you may be tempted to numb yourself right now. Five of Cups can be emotionally numbing oneself through drink, through different substances, and that happens, right, when emotions are intense. And Five of Cups encourages us to try to resist the urge of doing that. You know, you're at this breakthrough right now, and feeling is a big part of the breakthrough. Feeling is a big part of what's going to help you break through this wall and get to that freedom, get to that happiness, get to that shift, get to that change. And yes, you do deserve it. I also feel that if you allow yourself to have this emotional support, those of you who are dealing with numbing your emotions in whatever way it could be drink, substance, food, being a workaholic, throwing yourself into work, throwing yourself into the gym constantly, gambling, physical intimacy, some kind of obsessive hobby or interest. There's a billion ways people self-medicate. But I feel like if you allow yourself to have this support, it's going to be a lot easier to resist the urge to numb yourself, because the emotions are going to be a lot more tolerable, right? When we're going through something and we're doing something completely and totally alone, we need a crutch desperately. So if you are dealing with some issue of self-medication, maybe stop judging yourself about it and realize that I've had to do this to survive. So up until now in my journey, this has served me, right? It's kept me alive. It's kept me going. I couldn't have done it without this crutch. I couldn't have done it without this self-medication. But now I'm in a point where I'm ready for better. Now I'm in a point where I'm ready for more, and this is holding me back from obtaining better. So now I'm ready to change the way I'm dealing with my emotions. Now I'm ready to change the way I'm comforting myself and healing myself. And so you have to allow in this support. I feel like you need emotional support, right? And as I said, I'm all for therapy, but we're humans. And at the end of the day, humans, we need other humans, like it or not. And so I feel there's a need to let someone in to comfort you, to soothe you, to be there for you, so that you can you can move forward. You can move forward in your healing and in your opening up to receive. The next card that's coming up here for the collective. Yeah, this is great. Oh my gosh, this is great. We have the Ten of Swords. You might say, Amethyst, how in the heck is this card great? Look this up if you don't believe me. One of the meanings of the Ten of Swords is the end of a karmic cycle and sobriety. Okay, so if you have been struggling with some kind of way of numbing yourself, Ten of Swords is saying you're coming into real stable sobriety. Maybe it doesn't feel like it right now. Maybe you're not seeing it right now. For some of you, you could be dealing with someone who is they're self-medicating and they're trying to let you in, and there could be a sense that this person's coming into sobriety. Okay, sobriety and stable, significant, long-term sobriety, because we don't always hit it the first time. Sometimes we fall off the wagon several times, and that's part of the journey. But Ten of Swords here is coming into consistent sobriety for some of you, especially following the Five of Cups. Ten of Swords is also like a bittersweet moving on, right? Like something served you for a long time and now you're letting it go. This could be a codependent relationship that served you very well, and now you're letting go of that codependency. And it might be very refreshing, but also a little bittersweet, because once upon a time, it may have been an answer to your prayers. And it was wonderful. And now it's become a hindrance. And now you have to move on. And so it could be this bittersweet moving on. But Ten of Swords lets us know that this is tremendous growth. This is tremendous growth on your part, ascension, healing, going on to the next level, going on to the next thing. and not having to worry anymore, not having to be in fear of past situations, past relationships, old karma. You're breaking away from all of those things, and you're not going to have to repeat those cycles anymore. It almost feels to me like breaking out of a spell. Maybe someone had a lot of power over you. They were really good at making you feel guilty, or they were really good at manipulating you in some way. And now you're breaking out of it. Maybe you feel a little bit guilty of breaking out of it. But Ten of Swords to me tells me that the pain of staying is so great, and so big, that it's pushing you over the fear of moving on. Sometimes we don't move on because we're scared. But when I see Ten of Swords, it's so painful to continue the situation that you have to get the relief. You have to move on. You have to break away from it because you just cannot stand being in that energy anymore. So this is a big shift, Pisces. This is a big shift that you have to have a lot of positive affirmations and remind yourself that you deserve to be happy, you deserve this shift, you deserve this change, you deserve to be loved, supported, nurtured, comforted, held, and receive that. So I would just say the biggest challenge here is you giving yourself permission to embrace this change and to embrace this shift. It could be, as I said, bittersweet, but Ten of Swords is positive because it lets us know there's nowhere to go but up, essentially. There could be a rock bottom feeling with the Ten of Swords, but it's over. The battle is over, the struggle is over, and now is the time of rebuilding. The next card that's coming up here is the Lovers. This could be Gemini energy, Gemini sun, moon, rising, or Venus. Some of you could be dealing with a Gemini. Some of you could be breaking out of something karmic with a Gemini. I just realized I never moved you guys closer. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Some of you could be breaking out something karmic with a Gemini, sun, moon, rising, or Venus. But Lover's card can also be relationship. It could be a romantic relationship. Maybe some of you are leaving a codependent or manipulative situation for a new relationship. And there could be somebody making you feel very bad about that. There could be somebody making you feel really guilty about that. But the Lover's card is not only about a relationship. It's, I've said this before in previous readings. When the tarot was first put together, the 6th major arcana card was not called the Lovers. Some decks called it the choice, the decision, the sacrifice, because it's about choosing what we want. There's an option here. Do I want to focus on this, or do I want to focus on that? Some of you maybe are choosing between 2 different partners, and you feel like, I'm going to really hurt somebody here. Some of you are feeling like you're going to hurt somebody in choosing to live your life. Maybe you have a really codependent best friend, or family situation, right? It could be a job. I've had jobs where I couldn't date because my boss was on my ass like you wouldn't believe. It was like just crazy, and it was like, this is my boss, this isn't my husband. But like 24/7, there was no room in my life for anything else but putting out those fires and dealing with those emergencies. And it was just such an unhealthy dynamic. And it was hard. Like when I left that job, I felt I felt like I was abandoning or betraying somebody. But I did not have any life. And so it could be that kind of dynamic or situation for some of you, where you're just like, look, I can't be putting out your fires all the time. I can't be rescuing you all the time. I need to live my life. I can't constantly be holding your hand. I need somebody to hold my hand. I need somebody to comfort me. I need somebody to be there for me. Right? So for some of you, it's just as simply as like focusing on yourself. So the Lovers is like we want something, but we may feel as though we have to sacrifice something else for it. And that can be a little bit scary. But I feel like you're ready to do it. And this is a major arcana card here. So that tells us, Pisces, that this is one of the experiences you came here to have. You came here to have this experience and to learn this lesson and to grow in this way. So you can't fail. Your angels and guides are going to be with you. They're going to help you with the transition because you came here to make this transition. You came here to change this karma. The only way you're going to fail is if you give up. But you're going to have support from your angels and guides in making this positive shift into a more nourishing, nurturing direction for yourself, and in allowing yourself to receive comfort and support. You might want to check out your moon sign and rising sign videos. Some weeks your moon sign or rising sign might resonate more than your sun sign. There's a link in the description that takes you to the other videos so you can find the other weekly forecasts easily. Also a link in the description that'll take you to the love reading playlist, and a link that will take you to my scheduling page. If you'd like to schedule a private reading with me, calendly.com/amethystangelite. I thank you all for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing. Take care, my darlings. Be well. Bye.